I never confessed. I only wrote about the affair in my journal, thinking he'd never see it. It was my safe space, a place I could vent, but when I came home, he was gone. And all he left behind was one page I had written in shame. If I could undo it, I would, but I can't, so I'll just keep lying. It was supposed to stay hidden, tucked away where no one would ever look. A softcover journal I bought for $3 at a clearance rack, never meant to be anything but a private place to scream without sound. I never expected it to ruin my life. Aaron never read my journal. At least that's what I always believed. I had written in journals our whole marriage, on and off, sometimes about nothing more than recipes or to-do lists. He used to joke about it, said I'd be the next great memoirist. Said if I ever got famous, he'd sue me for using his name too much. I never wrote anything cruel about him. Even when things were hard, even when we were distant, I loved him, I really did. He was gentle in a way most men aren't. Steady, quiet, the kind of man who brings home flowers without needing a reason, who remembers what brand of tea you like. When you're sick, and still, I cheated on him. I don't have a dramatic excuse. No big fight, no break in the marriage, no night of vulnerability. I just saw someone I shouldn't have, and I didn't walk away. His name was Daniel, and he was someone from my past, the kind of past you tell yourself is dead and buried until it suddenly isn't. We dated in college. He was reckless, magnetic, selfish, the type that burns hot and leaves you charred. He cheated on me more than once, and still I stayed until I finally didn't. I met Aaron not long after that. He was the opposite of Daniel in every way. Where Daniel left bruises, Aaron gave warmth. Where Daniel lied, Aaron listened. Where Daniel made me feel like I was never enough, Aaron made me feel like I didn't have to be anything but exactly who I was. I married Aaron 3 years later. No doubts, no second thoughts. It wasn't perfect, but it was miles better than what I had with Daniel. But that part of me, the broken, insecure, desperate for validation part, it never fully died. When Daniel messaged me out of the blue, I should have blocked him. I knew it the second I saw his name, but I didn't. I opened it. I still can't forgive myself for it. That one moment, that one action I took changed everything. No, it ruined everything for me. Everything I had built with Aaron for years. All of it was gone for that one stupid mistake. It was meaningless, casual. Hey, long time. Hope life's treating you well. I told myself there was no harm in replying, just catching up. He was a ghost from my past, nothing more. But ghosts don't stay quiet when you feed them. We messaged back and forth for days. Then weeks. At first, it was surface level. Safe. We asked about jobs, mutual friends, where life had taken us. He said I looked happy in my pictures. I told him he looked older in a good way. We laughed. It felt harmless, but then he asked if I was happy, if I ever thought about the old days. If I ever missed how things used to feel when everything was new, exciting, wild. I paused before replying. I remember sitting at the edge of the bed, my phone in my hand, Aaron brushing his teeth in the bathroom like any normal night. And I just stared at that question. Was I happy? Yes, no, mostly. I thought I was, but something about the way Daniel phrased it, it tugged at something very deep. So I asked him why he was reaching out. Why now, after so many years of silence? After ghosting me, after cheating on me, after vanishing from my life like I never mattered. His answer came. A few minutes later, he said he'd just gotten out of a serious relationship, that it had ended badly, that he'd been doing a lot of thinking, that seeing my name in his contacts again made him remember what it felt like to be younger, dumber, sure, but more alive. He said he missed me, that I was always the one who stuck in his head, But I deserved better than how he treated me back then. And stupidly, foolishly, I let that get to me. Something about being remembered, being missed, especially by someone who once destroyed you. It plays tricks on your mind. I told myself it didn't mean anything, but deep down, I think I knew what was starting. I laughed at first, told him I was married, that I was happy, that we'd grown up, but something inside me cracked open. Not because I wanted him, but because I missed the version of me that used to feel wanted, desired, reckless and alive. Aaron worked late shifts that month. He was stressed, buried under deadlines. He came home exhausted, still loving, still sweet, but tired. We hadn't had a real date night in months. Daniel asked to meet for coffee, just coffee. I said yes. I lied to Aaron, said I was grabbing lunch with an old friend from work. Still remember exactly what I wore, a soft blue blouse and jeans I hadn't fit into since before the wedding. I wore perfume I hadn't touched in a year. I straightened my hair. I looked in the mirror and saw someone I hadn't been in a long time. When Daniel saw me, he smiled like he owned the moment. He flirted, of course, touched my hand when he made a joke, looked at me like he used to, like I was the center of gravity. I knew he wasn't safe. I knew he hadn't changed, but I didn't stop him when he leaned in as I was about to leave. I didn't pull away. I kissed him back, at first subconsciously, but then completely knowing we didn't sleep together that day. But we crossed a line I couldn't uncross. I felt awful when I got home. I actually drove around in circles for 30 minutes before I parked my car in our driveway, guilty in a way that rotted me from the inside. Aaron was asleep on the couch. He had waited up, but not long enough. A blanket was draped across his chest, and his phone was resting on his stomach. I kissed his forehead and whispered I loved him. I wasn't lying when I said it. I swear I WAS in single quotes T. The next day, I started writing about it in the journal. I didn't know what else to do with the guilt. I couldn't say it out loud. I couldn't confess. So I wrote down every word, every feeling, the confusion, the guilt, the thrill, the shame. I poured it all on the page like bleeding into cotton. And then I went to see Daniel again. It happened the third time we met. We booked a hotel room. I didn't even try to resist. He said he still wasn't over me, that we gave up too soon, that I owed him closure. I fell for it. I don't know what was worse, the fact that I betrayed Aaron, or the fact that afterward I didn't feel anything but numb. Daniel wasn't what I remembered. He was older, colder. It was mechanical. There was no real connection, just nostalgia and guilt and a need to escape something that didn't even exist. I knew it was over the second I left the room. I blocked his number, deleted the texts, told myself I had dodged a bullet, but the guilt stayed. And so I kept writing. I wrote about the shame, about how I looked at Aaron and hated myself, about how kind he was, how undeserving I felt, about how I would never tell him, about how I would spend the rest of our life trying to make it up to him, silently, invisibly. I wrote it all in that same $3 journal, dozens of pages. Until one day, I stopped writing. I thought I was healing. I thought I had locked it all away. 6 months passed. We were good, better even. We started planning a trip to Italy, something we had dreamed about for years. I threw myself into loving him, into cooking dinner, booking dates, laughing like I hadn't in months. I convinced myself it had faded until I came home one Thursday night and something felt wrong. The lights were off. The kitchen was spotless. Too spotless. The bedroom closet. Door was wide open. His clothes were gone. My chest tightened. I called his name. No answer. Then I saw it on the kitchen table. One torn page. From my journal, a single line stared up at me, written in my own handwriting. the ink slightly smudged. If I could undo it, I would, but I can't, so I'll just keep lying. That was it. No goodbye. Just that one sentence. My sentence, and the ring box. His wedding ring was inside. I collapsed. I don't remember how long I sat there. Hours, maybe more. I checked my phone a dozen times, called twice. No answer. He didn't come home that night, or the next or the next. I found the rest of the journal in the trash, pages torn, soaked in what I think was coffee. But that one page, the one that shattered everything, was the only one he left me. It's been 9 months. I haven't heard from him since. No calls, no texts, no lawyers, no divorce papers. Just absence. I reached out to his sister. She said he's somewhere safe, that he's not ready to talk, that I should give him space. I asked if he read the whole journal. She said he stopped after a few pages, said he didn't want to know more than he already did. I asked why he tore out that one sentence. She didn't answer. Sometimes I stare at that page, still folded in the drawer, and wonder what he thought when he read it. Did he cry? Did he hate me? Did he picture it all? The hotel, the betrayal, the lies? Did he wonder when I would have told him? Or did he know I never would? I don't know where Aaron is now. I don't know if he'll ever come back, or if I even deserve that. But I know this. I would give anything to rewrite that moment, to unlive that day, to untype that reply, to unmeet Daniel, to never ever betray the only man who truly loved me. But I can't. So now I just live with it. Like I wrote, only now I don't lie. I just sit in the silence I made, waiting for a knock that may never come.